Every 15 Minutes is a program to bring awareness about the issues of drinking and driving. Center High School held the Every 15 Minutes program during March 1st and March 2nd. We interviewed several participants right after the funeral to find out how they felt about their experience.
This was a wonderful experience for me because it really gave me a different perception on life and what it really means to us. It just gives me another reason to live life to the fullest and don't make any regrets. The most important thing to me was probably the look on everyone's face when at the crash scene and during the funeral. Everyone was crying their faces off, and you don't like seeing the people you love crying, so it's difficult.
I got to learn a lot. I got to hang out with all my friends and people I didn't know. I also got to experience what it goes through as a drunk driver or being killed as a drunk driver.
It was a good experience for me. It made me realize what's more important in life than anything else, and what's important to me is that my life is what makes a difference and I can change things.
I think that this experience shows realistically what would happen if one of these 32 students were to disappear, the impact on the student body and on their families and loved ones. It vividly shows that when you have people stand and you can see just how many people are touched by just a few.
Shows how your friends feel and how your family feels. It's really crazy and intense and so real.
It's a good experience because it affects all my friends, my family, and me in it, and it was really touching and all that, and it shows you what really can happen if you do make that mistake or do not make that mistake, but it's just really touching. I will never drink and drive, really won't, stop my friends from drinking and driving. If you do drink, just stay at that house. If you get kicked out, just don't stay in your car, don't drive, that's all.
This is a great experience because it really gives me a taste of what my family and my friends would go through if I were gone, and I realize how precious life is and how important it is to treasure the ones you love.
The reason that it was so great was probably because it was one of the worst days of my life, where I had to see all of my friends and family crying. I had to listen to everyone's personal stories during the retreat, and we had to write our goodbye letters to our parents. It was just completely horrible. Worst day of my life, but that was basically everyone's wake-up call. That was my wake-up call, and I know how many people I'm going to impact if I ever do something like that, and I know that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna let that happen to me. I'm never gonna try and never let that happen to anyone else.
As far as the overall program itself, I have two older sons, 27, 28, and a daughter, 13. So just thinking, forecasting, what transpired here to them was pretty powerful for me. A lot of times by us having that we respond out to these calls, we don't get the emotional connection that the families do. And so for me, being involved in this program, at the level that I was, and then seeing the information today in the presentation was pretty powerful for me.
This experience was great because I got to see from all angles how many people this really does affect and what a great opportunity this program is, and I got close with people that I never thought I would get close with, which is really what it's about, is this whole student body uniting against drunk driving. The candlelight little thing that we did at the retreat where everybody passed around a candle and got to speak individually about something in the story they had to tell, and that was special because everybody shared a little bit of themselves and we got really close.
Honestly, I feel like it was way more than a good experience. I understand it was an act, but the fact of my close friends and thinking about my family, it was really bad. Everything was so close, emotional. It impacted everyone so fast. All the guys were from the beginning were just you know what, well, no one's gonna cry. We're fine. Then girls started crying, and then we even saw teachers crying, and we're just like, whew, this is starting to get real. And then honestly, like, I feel like this was an amazing experience, and like I'm thankful to everyone that let me be in this. One thing that was like down in my mind was my relationship with my dad. Honestly, I don't know what if he was to die, or if I was to die in the crash. I don't know what would happen like with my family and stuff. That was like the one thing I like throughout the whole experience that just wouldn't come out of my mind.
This was a good experience because it teaches you a lot of things, like not to drink and drive, and like it was really emotional because all the speakers went there and they talked about how one of their daughters died and then another girl lost her father, and it's really emotional and makes you really think twice about decisions you want to make. People take it as a joke, but once you get into it, it's really serious and like it's really sad. So everybody should think twice about what their decision is next time. The only thing I can say is don't drink and drive. It's bad.
Oh gosh, I think my whole outlook on life changed. I mean, going through this program was just like the most emotionally draining experience, but best experience I think I've ever had. And I will never, ever get in a car with somebody who's drunk or drive drunk ever again in my life. That's a promise. Just don't be afraid to call somebody, you know. There's, like a lot of the speakers said, there's no worse feeling than having somebody, you know, get that call and your child or friend or brother or sister has been gone. Just call somebody. It's not worth it.
It was devastating, absolutely devastating. I mean, your heart just sinks, and reality is just, it's numbing.
It really opened up my eyes, and it showed me that there's a lot more to life than we realize. And to imagine it being gone with such a poor decision, it really changed me. And I think it changed everyone because we realized how much everyone means to us and how much we mean to others. And I just want everyone to know that you're all loved.
We learned about life in general and a lot about the consequences of drinking and driving. The every 15-minute program will start to make everyone think twice before they drink and drive.